bring me some figgy pudding. Now bring me some figgy pudding. And bring me some figgy pudding. As long as it's not on your vagina. Welcome back to the Brohio Podcast. I'm one half of the amazing gay duo, the delicious Nicolicious.
The amazing gay duo. Okay, that's. I'll take it. I'm Rob Dog. What's up, guys? What's up, guys?
Did I say? I just meant to say the amazing duo.
It's
Did
okay.
I say gay?
No, you didn't.
Okay, all right. We're stuck in between a weird time right now.
It works
Rob.
either way, regardless.
We'll just go with it. We'll get some t-shirts printed up. We'll do some big stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, you are in the cream spot. You are in a very dark place in the world. We're going to take you through some really fun stuff this evening, this morning, this afternoon, wherever it's at, wherever you are, whatever time it is, whenever you ingest this podcast. But I was just telling Rob, we're in a really weird time right now because so many people are rushing to celebrate Christmas right fucking now.
Mm-hmm.
They're skipping past the turkey. They're skipping past the cranberry sauce. They're skipping past the stuffing. I ain't never skipping past the stuffing. That's my jam, dog.
For real.
I'll eat all the stuff. You give me 2 pounds of stuffing and some deviled eggs, and I will fart hellfire and brimstone for 3 days. It doesn't even matter.
I love Thanksgiving.
I'll put a deviled egg in my ass. Like, not a spicy one because I'm not trying to go to the hospital, but I will put a deviled egg in my ass if I have to.
Sure.
But people are trying to skip right past Thanksgiving and move straight to Christmas. What do you think of that?
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No. I mean, do what you want. I don't really give a fuck. It doesn't affect me anyway, but I love Thanksgiving, so I'm like, man, once Halloween's over, I'm like, fuck yes, Thanksgiving's coming up.
I have some very fond memories of Christmas, though, growing up, and it really it brings a lot of warmth to my heart. I remember we used to, I was never allowed to sleep in the living room. My parents would make a concentrated effort to make me get on my fucking bed, and then they wouldn't let me sleep in the living room. But there was always like one night around Christmas where they would let me sleep on the chair by the Christmas tree. And I would just lay there, and we would watch a movie, and then I would kind of start to drift off, but I wouldn't really be asleep. I would just pretend to be asleep, and then my dad would start talking to my mom about butt fucking the shit out of her, and I'm just laying there. I'm just laying there in the chair taking it all in.
That's where you learned your game from.
Just absorbing it. He's like, oh, I think he's asleep. Yeah, he's asleep. I'm going to fucking annihilate your asshole. There's going to be 8 planets after I'm done with Uranus. My mom's going to call me like, what the fuck are you talking about? That never fucking happened. She'd call her and ask her if she remembers. She'd have a fucking stroke.
She really would.
I'm not talking to you and Rob, dog. You motherfuckers. All right, this episode's going to be really cool one. We got some wild beasts and monsters from the wilderness and the woods, and we got some stairs to nowhere.
Hell yeah.
These stairs are really, really piqued my interest, so... But first off, we're going to say hello to our new Patreon subscribers, starting off with Derek Bradley of Quad State Paranormal. He sounds like he's probably part of a paranormal investigation team, so go check out Quad State Paranormal, and thank you, Derek Bradley, for the Patreon pledge, buddy.
And next, it looks like I'm going to butcher this name, that's for sure, but it looks like maybe Denise Orozco.
It sounded perfect to me,
sure.
Dude. Denise Orozco, yeah.
Yeah, close enough. You know who you are. If that's your name, thank you.
Clayton Keeling. We went to school with him. We called him Kneeling Keeling because he would always suck on their penis. He would always do a lot of penis sucking on the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
So they always called him Kneeling Keeling.
Okay.
So it was kind of a bullying thing, but we were in a different age back then. Back then, people just they didn't really, complain about getting bullied. They just fucking killed themselves. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't really complain about it too much. They just fucking. Sorry, that was bad. That was a bad joke.
Let's see here. Next, we have the French Goose himself, Mike Laguise.
The French Goose.
Laguise.
And we have Lindsay Cocker. Not Lindsay Cock. Let me zoom in on that. Lindsay Crocker. Lindsay Country Crocker is what. That's my favorite one. A lot of people wake up. I always see that meme like, this is a picture of me eating handfuls of shredded cheese at 3 a.m. Me personally, I like to go to the refrigerator in the middle of the night, stuff my fist into a tub of country crock, and then shove it up my ass. One of my favorite pastimes, to get a fistful of country crock, of margarine, of MSG, and shove it straight up my butthole. Really can ease it in. It's like inseminating a cow. Remember Johnny Knoxville? It's much like that. You get enough country crock on there, there's nothing to slow you down except for the walls of your rectum. You really get it in there.
Okay. I don't even know what to say to that.
We'll try it.
Cave Dave, hey, thank you fucking weirdo.
Cave Dave. He definitely got a PS5. Fuck him.
Lucky bastard.
Yep. Mermaid hair everywhere.
That's so pretty.
I hope that's your birth name, madam. Mermaid hair
That'd be great.
Everywhere. I saw a thing today that said the mermaids taste like fish on the bottom and red meat on the top, or like how does that work? Tilapia on the bottom, and like
either way, I'm game.
Bear meat on top. Yeah, I love mermaids. God, I love them.
I think we included this person last week, but Amos,
yeah,
you get a second shout out. Fuck it.
Happy birthday, Amos.
Yeah.
Whenever your birthday is.
Famous anus. Thank you.
The cookie. And now we have 2 promos from 2. So the ad company we work for, they were really late paying us, and I got on their closed group. I'm like, hey, where's our fucking money? And these people were like, you want to do a promo swap? And I said,
I saw that, yeah.
And I said, oh, yeah, let's do it. So we're going to do a promo swap with the wonderful people from the Reverie, Reverie, sorry. She even says that in the promo. And the Reverie True Crime Podcast and the True Crime Witch Podcast. Both of these ladies have very wonderful accents. Different sides of the world, but we're going to play these promos for you, right? Meow.
My name is Paige, and I'm the host of Reverie True Crime. Reverie means to daydream, but even daydreams can turn into nightmares. Join me as I tell you haunting and horrific reveries about missing people and senseless murders. I also interview survivors and people seeking justice for themselves or a loved one. New episodes come out every Monday morning, and sometimes you'll get bonus episodes on Thursdays. Wherever you're listening to this current podcast right now, you can find Reverie True Crime.
Good evening, friends. I'm Emma, the host of the True Crime Witch Podcast. Join me every other week as we delve into everything murderous, mysterious, and downright macabre. You can find the podcast by searching the True Crime Witch Podcast on all of your favourite podcast apps, and search for us on social media just using the True Crime Witch. Hope to see you there. Remember, friends, stay safe and stay spooky.
All right, and Emma is a real witch, so don't fuck with her. Don't mess with that. 2 true crime podcasts for you guys to check out. The Reverie True Crime Podcast, that's Reverie, and the True Crime Witch Podcast. And she's a real witch. She'll do spells or whatever. Anything that, real witches do. I don't know. I do not know. We have a Zoom live show where we've certainly bit off more than we can chew because we promised a murder mystery. I have no fucking clue what we're going to do for that. That thing's not written yet.
Right.
We're going to have to write that this week.
You'll figure it out.
That's going to be November 21st. It's going to be like 5:30 or 6:30 Eastern time. That gives time for our people on the other side of the pond to get it, and the people here to get it. So that's going to be live. It's $10. You get a Brohio. You can Venmo or PayPal. $10 at BrohioPodcast.com. We're going to use that money to buy hot stuff, and we're going to fucking eat it.
I can't wait. It's going to be great.
So, that'll be November 21st. And we also have a really, this one article this week kind of speaks to my heart because I am certainly this guy. A Florida Keys man was jailed Halloween night after police said he threatened a man with a handgun while in his Jeep on Duval Street. There's more of the story, Rob.
Oh, okay.
The reason for the gun flash? Someone questioned the size of the driver's penis after he revved the Jeep's engine.
I do that all the fucking time. And we'll be sitting at the house and someone will rev up their engine and I'll be like, oh, that guy's got a small dick. Every single time.
So my wife hates this. When we are next to a big truck, like a lifted truck,
yeah,
I'll roll the window down and I'll point the guy. I'm like, nice truck, bub. And then he just be like, yeah, nod his head. And I'll be like, no, nice truck, bub. And then they're like, yeah, and we pull away. I'm like, you got a tiny fucking wiener. tiny, funny. Quote, you must have a small dick, the driver said he was told. Dustin Allen Counts, 21, who was listed in the police report as a student living on Ramrod Key.
Ramrod.
I can't believe any of this. Was arrested on felony charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, carrying a concealed weapon, and dealing in stolen property. He was also arrested on a misdemeanor charge of driving without a valid driver's license. Police responded to Key West's most famous street at 7:52 p.m. on October 31st. Toby Keaton of Corral Springs told police that he was in his vehicle in front of Cowan's Jeep when he heard Cowan's racing the engine. Keaton said he got out and approached Cowan's and asked him why he was doing it. In response, Cowan's began swearing at Keaton and pulled a 9mm Smith & Wesson handgun. Cowan's held the gun sideways while pointing it in his direction, Keaton said. I flashed a gun at him, so I was protecting myself, police said Cowan's told them. Keaton said he was in fear for his life, police reported. Cowan's told police he had bought the gun on the street, but added he had never done anything stupid with it before, police said. Cowan's was released from the county jail on Stock Island on November 3rd after posting a $32,000 bond. Ooh. Hey, how small is your dick? And that's definitely a telltale sign whenever, and he's just, and I see, so anytime I hear someone talk about, they try and have a legit conversation about rolling coal, about like blowing black smoke out of their diesel truck. Mm-hmm. I know they have an any wiener. They have an any wiener and they have puffy nipples. And I know there's some guys listening to this podcast like, oh man, I got a Pioneer 212s in the back of this thing. Don't talk to me about my goddamn nipple wiener. I got big old nipples and a little wait a second. I got big nipples and a little dick. That's me. Yeah, found your guy. Big nipples, little dick. What do you look like? Well, he had some baloney floppers. And have you ever had any strange experiences in the woods, Rob Dog?
Not anything that I couldn't explain.
Okay,
unfortunately.
I think I've told this story before on the show. I'm not sure if I've told it on the show or maybe a Patreon episode. But one time we were in the hills. The mountains / hills in Ohio, in far eastern Ohio, where there's nothing. And we were up doing, it's called packer testing, but we were up in the trees in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. We were so far up in the mountain in the hills that a bulldozer had to make a path for us to get our work truck up there. And the only path was legitimately the path for our truck. And the thing about packer testing, you get out, and you do the packer testing for like 2 minutes, and then you get back in the truck for 2 hours, and then you get out for 2 minutes, and you get back in the truck for 2 hours. It's great. A lot of napping, a lot of sleepy time, a lot of Angry Birds, a lot of Pornhub, a lot of Fox News, CNN, whatever you're into. And this specific night, I was in the passenger seat, and the path we were on was so narrow that the trees on the side of the path were touching the windows of the truck. And I was in the passenger seat and I was laying against the window and I was asleep. I was kind of like that in between sleep, like not all the way asleep, kind of still awake. And it had one of those vents where it turns sideways. The mirror is like an older truck where the window turned sideways.
Okay.
And then the window was cracked as well. Clear as day, it woke me up and I felt it. I felt something on my right shoulder. The guy I was with was asleep at the steering wheel. And there was nobody else out there except for a scientist that was fucking 10 miles down the hill. I felt it and I heard it over my right shoulder. It just something went just like, and I could feel the hot air blow on me as well. The wind wasn't blowing.
Reach over and grab his dick, Nick.
Yeah.
Get you a handful of that big soggy wiener.
Have you ever jerked off this man before? You must jerk him off. And just over my right shoulder, I felt it. Just a nasty, hot breath, just like old grandpa about to rape you breath. And I set up. I shot up like a fucking lightning bolt. It scared the living fuck out of me. Yeah, if you ask me in 10 years, it was definitely a Bigfoot. But at this given moment, I haven't got a goddamn clue what it was. It might have been could have been a dueo.
Could have been.
Could have been a Wendigo. Could have been a skinwalker.
Could have been a mandingo.
Could have been a buttfuck. Could have been a mandingo. I can only wish it was a mandingo, but I don't know what it was. Didn't get his calling card. Didn't fucking care to stick around and find out what the fuck it was.
He didn't leave his business card or anything.
He said, "Are you the gatekeeper?" I don't know who you're looking for, buddy. Are you the key master? I don't know. But that was one incident that I had up in the woods, man. That's what this episode is based around, is shit that kind of comes from the woods, comes from the wilderness. Maybe certain legends that are centered around a mysterious being or beast that is in the wilderness or way out there somewhere not close to town. And this isn't all beasts and monsters. Some of this are folk like human beings. And then we're going to also talk about the stairs to nowhere. Oh, yeah. Which I just recently learned about.
Oh, yeah.
The first one we're going to talk about is the Rake. The Rake. The Rake. The R-A-K-E, the Rake. And this is from a Spanish journal entry dated 1880 that possibly references the Rake. It says, "I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror."
Let me reiterate that.
"I see his eyes when I close mine. They are hollow, black. They saw me and pierced me.
Oh.
His wet hand, I will not sleep. His voice," and then it says unintelligible text. "The Rake is the name of a creature with very little information about it. It's described by original reports as a naked man or a large hairless dog of some sort."
That varies a little bit.
Yeah, with a body position that seemed unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something, quote.
Okay.
The Rake began to attract attention in 2003 after reported sightings of the creature in the northeastern United States spurred local media coverage. The vast majority of these sightings seem to be from upstate New York, and though there was an alleged one-off sighting of the creature in Idaho, it was said to be native to the Northeast. In 2006, a group of internet sleuths began working to compile records of the Rake. At one point, the organization, the old fucking wet naked dog, fucking half dog, half naked man. What the fuck? I wouldn't be scared of that thing at all. I'd be like, "You need a fucking bath, buddy. You need some trimmers. Come here."
It's just a hairy dude with scoliosis.
Dude, each generation's different, but whenever we were in school, they would always check your spine for scoliosis.
Yeah.
How weird is it now that we took our shirts off and we bent over at the waist in a fucking bathroom for some old man to look at our fucking back? How many of our classmates probably just got their shit pushed absolutely all the way in?
Just pull your pants down a little more.
And then everyone would be like, "I'm good. We're fine." And you were always so scared to be diagnosed with scoliosis.
Oh, yeah.
Then we had some retarded fucker one year, and every single kid he bent over, he was like, "Scoliosis next." Scoliosis next. And he gave all of us a scoliosis diagnosis. I go home from school that day, I'm fucking crying, my eyes are red and puffy. My mom says, "What's wrong?" I said, "I got the scoliosis. I'm going to get a fucking back brace. I'm going to be walking like a cripple, like hunchback. I'm fucked up.
Get my wheelchair."
So she books me and I was young. We didn't have insurance at the time because, well, it was a different time then, okay? I had a father that owned a very small family business and a mother that worked in the filing room of their very, very small family business. So he'd take me to some fucking schmuck doctor that's like $20 a see. And he's like, my mom's like, "Well, the doctor at his school said he had scoliosis." And he said, "Okay, well, check him out." And I was always chubby, like, right? I was
Right.
chubby when I was little. I swear to God, this dude bent me over, and he's like looking at me, and he's like, "I'm sorry, I must grab you. I cannot see your spine. You're too chunky." He said I was too chunky. I said, "What the fuck you say to me?"
You're too chunky.
He's like, he just like bent over my back, and he's like, "I'm going to have to push on your back. I can't see your spine. You're too chunky." God damn, dude.
Burn.
Too fat, too pudgy. God damn. Fucking.
Yeah, I remember getting, whenever we had to do the lice checks, that was like heaven.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've still been trying to find that nurse on Facebook. She's 85 now, but I'm still trying to find her.
Like, if I buy you some chopsticks, can you go ham on my head?
Can you just come over and stab me with wooden
Please.
Yeah. However, sightings have persisted with people coming forward constantly to tell stories of their encounters of the Rake online. Online forums, with their ability to nurture subcultures, anonymously interact with others, and collaborate across great distances, are the perfect place for stories like this to develop and spread. Message board websites such as Reddit and 4chan, where you can go get your butt fucked, your dick sucked, titties licked on, whatever you need to do, where individuals can find subsections dedicated to whatever their interests are, no matter how esoteric, are where many of these stories originate. A user on the popular subreddit Humanoid Encounters, which I'm going to go check that one out later, tells his story from the 14 years prior when he fell asleep in his living room and began to hear weird slapping noises.
Oh, shit.
Before I tell the story, I would like to make it abundantly clear that I had a single mother. I hid my head under the blanket and stayed as still as possible. I could still see a faint silhouette through the fabric. It looked like a hairless dog with a warped body with long, distorted arms. The creature walked across the floor and crawled out of sight. I could only assume that it had gone up the steps. I didn't sleep at all. I held still and refused to allow myself to move until dawn. My mother had come down the steps confused and a bit aggravated. She asked me to come upstairs and look at the wall. The walls had been covered with long scratches. God damn. The distance between the marks was large. The hands must have been at least 6 inches wide. We moved within the following weeks, and it wasn't until 4 years ago that I heard of the Rake. I woke up at 3 a.m., I think this is another story. I woke up at 3 a.m. to the feeling of something watching me. I felt extremely uneasy. I rolled over to look around the room, and my eyes locked onto something standing beside my mom. It was extremely tall, but looked as if it had a broken back and couldn't stand up completely. It was slouched over and had extremely pale skin and bones sticking out under the skin everywhere due to how skinny it was. It had long claws hanging from both hands. Its face was sunken in, and eyes were completely black holes. A few greasy hairs were visible on its head. It had no clothes, but also no genitals or nipples. It says that.
This is no nipples. Man.
I have nipples, Rake. Can you milk me? No, so that's scary. I don't ever want to see a fucking rake, dude.
No.
I've been using a garden rake to clean up the leaves in my front yard because it's that time of the year, but I'm not trying to see one of these rakes.
Yeah, if I'm going to see something horrible, I would hope it would have nipples. That's the scariest part. I can deal with the greasy hair and the claws, but no nipples?
You're laying on the couch at the psychiatrist's office, and he's, "When did you finally reach your breakdown?" "Oh, once I saw that I didn't have any fucking nipples, that was pretty much a wrap for me. I went to go kiss it on the nipple, and I couldn't find them." How does it feed its young if it doesn't have nipples?
It's a good question.
Similac, like formula and shit.
Man, I don't know.
If you don't have nipples, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We'd love to speak with you about your nippleless body. If you have big old puffy nipples, turn us off. Fucking puffy nippled fruitcakes.
I knew that was coming.
Tell them about the Wamp Cat, the Wap Cat.
The Wap Cat. Yeah, the Wampus Cat. So the Wampus Cat or the Cherokee Death
what a
Cat.
Stupid fucking name for a cat.
Wampus.
I want to get a cat and just name it Wampus.
Cherokee Death Cat's pretty fucking sweet. Is a feline creature in American folklore that can be depicted as frightening or comical depending on the region.
I already like it.
It's either super terrifying or really funny.
He's like the fucking Pink Panther. He's kind of little bit funny,
Right.
but it'll fuck you up too.
It'll jump out with sharp teeth, and then the next second it'll be performing skits for you. In Cherokee mythology, the monster is a cat-like embodiment of a female onlooker cursed by tribal elders as punishment for hiding beneath the pelt of a large wild cat to witness a sacred ceremony. Okay. The Wampus Cat has been associated in several southeastern tribal beliefs as a shapeshifter. Okay. Later, various towns in the United States reported sightings as early as the 1920s of the Wampus Cat, which would kill livestock. During the 1920s and 30s, newspapers reported of a Wampus Cat killing livestock in North Carolina to Georgia, and such sightings continued even into the 60s. When one was sighted, the townspeople would institute curfews and arm themselves against the creature. Though the dead livestock and sightings may be attributed to early intrusions of coyotes or what the fuck is why does it say jaguarundi?
Okay, everybody. You're here for the town hall meeting. We got a goddamn Wampus Cat on the loose again. Hey, get back in your fucking huts.
Let's see. Later references by the American Dialect Society. What the fuck? Why are they referencing the Dialect Society? Noted the Wampus Cat as an undefined imaginary animal which could be heard whining about camps at night. Now, the appearance. The Wampus Cat varies in appearance, but is always feline in nature. It's usually depicted similar to a cougar or a mountain lion with light tan yellow fur, has yellow eyes, and often has 6 legs as opposed to 4.
Or just 2 really big dicks. It's a big cat with 2 wieners. Cat dicks are small, so that's not true.
That's very true. Yeah. According to locals in Conway, Arkansas, the cat is described as a mountain lion with 6 legs, 4 for running, and 2 for fighting. In Clark Folk, Idaho, the cat is described as having a ball-like formation at the end of its tail, seemingly covered in sharp quills or spikes.
Oh, that's its wiener. We looked that up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Folklorist Vance Randolph described the Wampus Cat as a kind of amphibious panther which leaps into water and swims like a colossal mink.
That's fucking terrifying.
What the fuck, dude?
I'll tell you who it was.
These are awesome.
It was that fucking Wampus Cat. You're out here calling it a Wampus. Isn't that a word? Can't you use that to describe people that are acting up?
I guess.
Ruckus.
That's a ruckus.
Or Wampus. We can make it a new word.
A wop cat.
A wop cat.
It's a wet-ass pussy.
It is a wet-ass pussy. It swims like a colossal mink, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what a mink is. I just know rich people wear them as coats.
Yeah, it's like a monkey and a muskrat and an otter all in one.
Okay.
And they stink. They're
a mink that stinks.
Yeah. This next part of our episode is called
oh, this is so good.
This is the Staircases to Nowhere. Have you heard about these?
I have. Yeah, there was this Reddit series where this guy was talking about he was a wildlife guard.
That's what I have right here.
Yeah. Yeah, research. Yep.
It says I'm a search and rescue officer for the United States Forest Service.
So good.
Let me tell you, that would be a terrifying fucking job.
This person has like 40 stories on there, and they're all terrifying.
He does. He he said in the subreddit or in the Reddit here, he says that he has a really good track record for finding missing people. Yeah. So, but then where it gets weird is he speaks about these stairs that are out in the middle of just stairs that ascend to nowhere in the middle of these parks and forests.
Yeah.
He says, he tells about all these strange occurrences, and he says, this is the last one I'll tell you, and it's probably the weirdest story I have.
And before you even get, and just to kind of paint a little picture here, is that these things they're not clumped together. They're out in the middle of woods. So like there'll be 15 miles off a trail, 20 miles off a trail. They're all over. And they're like, some can be really worn and weathered, and some can be pristine.
He says that these are 30 or 40 miles off the beaten path, and there's nothing around, which is very strange. He says, this is the last one I'll tell you, and it's probably the weirdest story I have. Now, I don't know if this is true in every search and, he calls it a SAR unit, or a search and rescue unit, but in mine, it's sort of an unspoken regular thing we run into. You can try asking about it with other SAR officers, but even if they know what you're talking about, they probably won't say anything about it. We've been told not to talk about it by our superiors, and at this point, we've all gotten so used to it that it doesn't even seem weird anymore. On just about every case where we're really far into the wilderness, I'm talking 30 or 40 miles, at some point we'll find a staircase in the middle of the woods. It's almost like if you took the stairs in your house, cut them out, and put them in the forest. I asked about it the first time I saw some, and the other officer just told me not to worry about it, that it was normal. No, not normal. Everyone I asked said the same thing. I wanted to go check them out, but I was told very emphatically that I should never, ever go near any of them. I just sort of ignore them now when I run into them because it happens so frequently. And that's all he said in that Reddit there. And then he goes on to produce a part 2 where he goes a little more in depth with a specific story of these steps. He says, one of my first jobs as a trainee was a search op for a 4-year-old kid that had gotten separated from his mom. This was one of those cases where we knew we were going to find him because the dogs were on a strong scent trail and we saw clear signs that he was in the area. We ended up finding him in a berry patch about a half a mile. That's where they'd find my fat ass too. About a half a mile from where he'd been last seen. The kid wasn't even aware that he'd wandered that far. One of the vets brought him back, which I was glad for because I'm really not good with kids, and I find it hard to talk to them and keep them company. As my trainer and I are headed back, she decides to take me on a detour to show me one of the hot spots where we tend to find missing people. It's a natural dip in the land near a popular trail, and people will usually move downhill because it's easier. We hike out there, it's a few miles away, and we get there in about an hour or so. As we're walking around the area and she's pointing out places she's found people in the past, I see something in the distance. Now, this area we're in is about 8 miles from the main parking area. Through there, though there's back roads you can take to get closer if you don't want to hike that far. But we're on state-protected land, which means that there can't be any kind of commercial or residential development out here. The most you'll ever see is a fire tower or makeshift shelter that homeless people think they can get away with building. But I can see from here that whatever this thing is has straight edges, and if there's one thing you learn quickly, it's that nature rarely makes straight lines. I point it out, but she doesn't say anything. She just hangs back and lets me wander over and check it out. I get within about 20 feet of it, and all the hair on the back of my neck stands up. It's a staircase in the middle of the fucking woods. In the proper context, it would literally be the most benign thing ever. It's just a normal staircase with beige carpet and about 10 steps tall. But instead of being in a house where it obviously should be, it's out here in the middle of the woods. The sides aren't carpeted, obviously, and I can see the woods it's made of. It's almost like a video game glitch where the house has failed to load completely and the stairs are the only thing visible. I stand there and it's like my brain is working overtime to try and make sense of what I'm seeing. My trainer comes and stands next to me, and she just stands there casually, looking at it as if it's the least interesting thing in the world. I ask her what the fuck this thing is doing here, and she just chuckles. Quote, "Get used to it, rookie. You're going to see a lot of them." I start to move closer, but she grabs my arm. Hard. "I wouldn't do that," she says. Her voice is casual, but her grip is tight, and I just stand there looking at her. "You're going to see them all the time, but don't go near them. Don't touch them. Don't go up them. Just ignore them." I start to ask about it, but something in the way she's looking at me tells me that it's best if I don't. We end up moving on, and the subject doesn't come up again for the rest of my training. She was right, though. I'd say about every 5th call I go on, I end up running across a set of stairs. Sometimes they're relatively close to the path, maybe within 2 or 3 miles. Sometimes they're 20, 30 miles out, literally in the middle of nowhere, and I only find them during the broadest searches or training weekends. They're usually in good condition, but sometimes it looks like they've been out there for miles. All different kinds, all different sizes. The biggest I ever saw looked like they came out of a turn of the century mansion and were at least 10 feet wide with steps leading up at least 15 or 20 feet. I've tried talking about it with people, but they just give me the same response my trainer did. "It's normal. Don't worry about it. They're not a big deal, but don't go close to them or up them." When trainees ask about it now, I give them the same response. I don't really know what else to tell them. I'm really hoping someday I get a better answer, but it hasn't happened yet. That was the second part of his I guess explanation of some things that he's experienced as a search and rescue officer on.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of that, and I want to do a whole episode read through of one of those.
Yeah, there's and these things are.
It'd probably be like a 2-hour long thing. There's a lot going on
all over the world, but a lot of these are kind of associated with ruins, like ancient ruins. Like this one's associated with Etruscan pyramid of Bamarzo, and that's in Italy. But that makes a lot of sense why there would be steps at ruins like that. But then even in Cambodia, there's a 2,000-foot long abandoned staircase ascends to the Phnom Kulin Mountain. I can't pronounce any of these words. So the structure dates back to possibly the 13th century. In Chesterfield, New Hampshire, a set of stairs in the woods has earned a legendary reputation. Although not a true mystery, the staircase rouses curiosity. Well, there's a story behind it. During the 1920s, a Parisian music hall singer, Madame Antoinette Chéry, built her castle in the woods. So those kind of have explanations.
But those also have, especially with that last one, they also have something that resembles somewhat of a structure. These other ones are literally just staircases.
Yeah. And I dug a little further into this, and there's people that wrote about the stairs that claim they've experienced the steps, because the search and rescue officer says, don't go near the fucking steps. I don't fuck with the steps. They tell me not to fuck with the steps. But a lot of these people that come forward and talk about these steps say they're linked to portals that they're finding that. So it's been an ongoing theory for a really long time that Bigfoot.
Yes.
Okay. Bigfoot is an interdimensional being that enters and exits portals throughout the wilderness. That's the reason you never find a Bigfoot dead, is because they're interdimensional beings that come and go as they please, and they use these portals. And the only time we see them is when they briefly come through these portals into our dimension. Well, at the top of these steps, some people have claimed to have gone in and out of different portals at the top of these steps. This specific staircase in the Philippines, this snippet from historicmysteries.com says, one of the earliest of all reports actually originated from the Philippines. Torkik is an experienced ranger and is often tasked with searching for missing people in the local jungles. This is something that occurs on a regular basis because the jungles and forests in the area tend to be dense and difficult to safely navigate. It was during one of these routine patrols that Torkik claimed that he found 2 staircases that led deep into the forest. Out of curiosity and to get a higher vantage point of the forest ahead of him, Torkik decided to climb the stairs. The first staircase was a stone structure with a decorative carvings on it. The second staircase looked more like something someone had put together with natural stones in the immediate area. Torkik did not see any sign of missing backpackers, but he did see a stray dog that appeared vicious. He hastened forward further up the stairs to avoid the dog. Unsuccessfully, he finally returned to civilization. Torkik was met with news that was both unfortunate and baffling all at the same time. When he arrived at the ranger station, he learned that he had been fired from his job.
Damn.
From his perspective, he had been out for a number of hours, but the truth, as told to him, was astonishing. Torkik had been on patrol for 5 years. He was gone.
What?
Yeah. That story's from the Philippines. He went up these
sorry, we're gonna have to let you go, man. You haven't showed up for 5 years.
So he just how fucking crazy is that, dude?
Dude, can you imagine just losing 5 years of your life?
Yeah.
That would be fucking crazy.
It's absolutely you can't even.
I'd want a refund.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I think it's definitely I want to go to one of those.
Imagine just coming back and them telling you 5 years has passed. What if they were just fucking with him and they just wanted to get rid of him?
Yeah. We gotta figure something out. We gotta fucking get rid
Let's
of
just,
this guy.
whenever he comes back, let's just tell him he's been gone for 5 years. Like, we no call, no showed, fired you a long time ago, buddy.
I have an idea how we can shit can this motherfucker. But yeah, there's a local legend here of, and I've posted pictures on the Facebook before. It's 13 Steps to Hell in Huber Heights. It's a really eerie, strange place. And they say if you go up these steps, you'll see a witch or some shit like that. I've gone up the steps before, and we got chased by demon dogs. I've told the story on here before.
Where did you say that was at? You said it was in Huber, but where at?
Endicott Road.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's Endicott. But that specific night, I was with troublemakers, and there was a mom that was driving us. And when we came down these fucking steps, these black fucking demon dogs started chasing the van, and we're literally chasing the van, trying to jump into the van with through the sliding door. And these things are keeping up with the van. It's like we finally get in the van, and the dogs are still keeping up with the van. And it's like one of the most goddamnedest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's terrifying. But to this day, I take my kids there and I roll the window down. They're like, no, fuck this. Keep driving. It's just a scary spot.
Yeah.
But these stairs to nowhere, man, it's a really intriguing topic. I think we could get a lot of juice out of that nut if we try. There's such a weird stigma here with these stairs. But I think it's really cool how they're just in the middle of nowhere for nothing. And they have to be symbolic of something, and they have to be some kind of, I hope they're portals.
And who the fuck put them there? Who's building staircases in the middle of the woods?
You know what I think we should put right here?
You know what this hill needs?
Some steps.
Stairs going nowhere.
I'm tired of walking up and down this hill once every 15 years. I built some fucking steps. All right, so next, yeah, Rob, take.
I get the weird ones today.
No, I get the next one after that. So you go ahead and take this one for sure.
You get the fun one. You get the fun name one. I get the donkey lady.
No, that's really what she is.
Oh man!
And this is from WeirdUS.com. And if you've never been to that website, they have so much local lore and strange stuff. But yeah, this is kind of an article.
Like a donkey show.
I think if you go down to the part,
fucking picture.
Yeah, no, it's
sweet.
It's the donkey lady.
Sure. The Legend of the Donkey Lady. So,
yeah, this is the author's perspective here.
Yeah, this is the person writing it. So, I started elementary school in 1966, geez, you old fuck, at Westwood Terrace in San Antonio, Texas. While I was there, I heard many local legends. Later, I found that anyone who had gone to school in San Antonio had heard of the Donkey Lady. Now, the way I heard it, back in the 50s, a young woman had been in a fire. My wife says she heard the Donkey Lady had lost 2 children in that fire and that her husband had started it. She was left horribly disfigured.
Why did you kill Mom in the house fire? Because she's the fucking Donkey Lady.
It was said that when her face healed, all the skin had something of a drooped, baggy appearance. Her fingers had all fused together, leaving dark stumps or hooves. Disfigured and totally insane, she stayed mostly in the rural areas of pronounced Bear? Bexar. Bear County? It looks like Bexar, though. And terrorized anyone who approached her. As children, when we would stay out late on summer nights, we would all describe that of what we thought she looked like. We were absolutely positive that she waited in the darkness for us to separate so she could pounce on lone victim, ripping and chewing. Well, you get the idea.
Is that her fingers had all fused together, leaving dark stumps or hooves?
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, she'd probably be an influencer on Instagram if she's still alive.
Yeah, she would. Most of the Donkey Lady stories have faded into memory, but one was a little harder to shake. One of my best friends told a cousin who was with his father, Jesus, and brother on a weekend outing. This is a he said, she said.
Oh, yeah, those are the best.
Yeah. It started as one humble little story, and then it ended up being super crazy. They were going to camp and doing a little fishing.
Oh, my God. Sorry.
Oh, jeez.
I got an Apple Watch. I don't know if I can use it.
They were doing a little fishing in an unofficial county park. The group pulled up to a weed-infested area off the dirt road and began to make camp. The two boys had the task of unloading the pickup truck while the father found a suitable spot for the tent. While unloading the truck, one of the boys heard a rustling in the weeds just ahead of the truck. He told his brother, who in turn called out their father to come to the truck. The three of them watched the tall weeds beneath the oaks away from the road bend under the weight of what was apparently a large animal. Then they heard an odd snorting sound and a high-pitched snarl. The father, not recognizing the sounds coming from the animal, decided that they probably ought to find another spot to set up camp. The three of them quickly threw the tent, sleeping bags, and gear into the back of their truck. While packing up, the father watched out of the corner of his eyes as the weeds shook nearby. The prowler moved away from the trees and began heading for the general area of the road. The father urgently whispered for the boys to get in the truck fast. All three of them were in the truck in a flash, and the father started it up. He put the truck in gear and was pulling out into the road when something fast and large bursted out of the weeds and began to run at the front of the truck. Seconds later, a horrible apparition bounded up onto the hood and began shrieking at them through the glass.
Jeez.
It was the ugliest thing any of them had ever saw.
It looks a donkey lady.
They swore it looked like a donkey, but it was mostly human. It screamed at them more as the truck continued to move away from the weeds and into the road. It used its deformed hands to punch at the windshield and broke it in many places. The father hit the brakes, the thing slid off the hood and onto the dirt road. Throwing the truck into reverse, the father floored the gas pedal and put some distance between them and that thing backing into the weeds off of the road. He then put the truck into first and stepped on it again. That thing was coming up on them fast. They said it almost looked like a wild animal with an incredible look of rage and hatred in its eyes. Dirt sprayed up from the road and the beast as they pulled out, slowing it down just enough for them to get away. The donkey lady supposedly had finally dropped back and headed into the weeds. After the story was told and my friends let it be known that he thought it was a nice story, but well, it was a story. He was then taken outside and shown the truck. The windshield was almost knocked out, the hood was dented, and the paint was scuffed and scraped. So we got
that. These next two stories are basically the same as the first
cool.
one. But but in this last one, it fucks the hood of the car up really bad. But they're basically the same encounters. And this is in Texas.
San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
The donkey lady.
Sounds kinky.
You gotta ask her. You gotta be like, "Are you the donkey lady?
Mm-hmm.
Or what are you?" But I feel really bad that her hands are all stuck together. And
Yeah, that does suck.
Leaves donkey prints.
Wonder if it has like donkey nipples or full titties hanging under it.
You just you see her, you just gotta be like, "Hey, are you the donkey lady?" And she's got like a trench coat, and she pulls the trench coat back, and she's got a huge donkey dick. And she's like, "I'm the donkey man. I'm not the donkey lady. I'm the donkey dude. I'm the donkey. Look at my dick." You never see any sexually motivated cryptids out there.
Yeah, you really don't, which is really weird. Because you think they'd be horny as fuck. Because you know there's not many of them.
He's ready to fucking, a red rocket on a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
He's ready to do some hard fucking, for sure.
I bet all these things just rape the fuck out of deers.
They probably just rape each other.
Maybe they do. Just like an orgy
That's
of cryptids.
why we can never find them, because they're just always busy fucking each other.
They're just fucking in like a hollow tree somewhere.
Imagine what chupacabra sex smells like.
Oh, God.
After they just got done fucking eating some goats and shit.
Like a Taco Bell shit.
I'm going to have one of those later. This next one, you guys are going to have to bear with me on the pronunciation here, but I believe it's asswang.
Asswang. It has to be asswang.
It's spelled ASWANG. And this is from the wilderness of the Philippines, I believe.
You could say aswang, but asswang is funner.
This is the asswang. I would like to have been in the tribal meeting when they decided to name this thing. What shall we name the new beast in the woods? I think we should name it Mean Monkey. I do not like that name.
I think we should name it Asswang.
I like Asswang. Oh. Some of you may think that this is fake, but this is real. You can look it up, type it into your Google or type it into your Ask Jeeves, ASWANG. The Asswang is a shape-shifting evil spirit. It's a combination of a vampire, a ghoul, a witch, and a werebeast.
Hell yeah.
Not a werewolf, a werebeast. It's only fitting for an Asswang.
That's crazy.
Unlike vampires, asswings are considered daywalkers. Daywalkers, not a goddamn streetwalker. It's a daywalker because they are not harmed by sunlight. However, they are weakest during the day because they do not possess their superhuman strength during the day. During the day, asswings have bloodshot eyes because they stayed up all night searching for houses where wakes are being held so they can steal the bodies. So these asswings really enjoy dead bodies. They only hunt in the darkness because they believe that is when God is asleep. That's pretty trippy right there. Asswings are similar to humans. They experience a wide range of emotions, from anger to sadness to humiliation to happiness. They can form friendships and will never cause harm to their friends and neighbors. Asswings are usually depicted as... What's so funny over there?
Oh, asswang.
Okay. Asswings are usually depicted as female. Would you look at that?
Huh.
They frequently walk with their feet positioned backwards. That's creepy. And they can use vocal tricks to disguise themselves. They will get quieter and quieter to fool their victims into thinking they are walking further away and establish a false sense of safety. Asswings live as quiet, shy villagers. However, at night, when they grow hungry, they will transform into bloodthirsty animals. There are different forms of asswings: the tick-tick and wak-wak, which are the sounds they make when hunting. Turn into large birds. Meanwhile, the Zegben transforms into the Tasmanian devil. However, they can also transform into a cow, a bat, a wild boar, a black cat, or a black dog. Fucking asswing, Rob Dog. Asswings can also transform the appearance of objects. They will replace their live victims or stolen cadavers with replicas made from tree trunks or other type of plants.
So fucking cool.
Go tuck your kid in. It's a fucking tree trunk. Finally, someone has gotten rid of this little motherfucker. This doppelganger will then return home extremely sick and die naturally to avoid suspicion.
Okay.
Wait, I'm so fucking confused.
Wow.
I think Grandma just died, but I think it might be a fucking tree trunk, so I can't really...
It's either grandma or a log. I don't know.
I think it might be an asswang. Asswings eat the hearts and livers of unborn fetuses and young children. What a dick.
I know.
It's just like Joe Biden. They attack by using their proboscis, which extends from their mouth and reaches into a mother's womb to suck out a meal while the women are asleep.
Huh.
Could you imagine being 9 months pregnant and waking up and there's an asswing on top of you sucking a baby out of your mouth?
Ugh.
I would go the shorter route. I would go through the butthole. Because ugly babies come out of buttholes, pretty babies come out of vaginas. You can get that on a fucking shirt. Asswings move quickly and silently. They are so skinny that they are able to hide behind bamboo posts.
Oh, Jesus.
They're skinny mofos. When they hunt, they prefer to travel as far as possible so their true nature does not become obvious to everyone in their town. They understand that if they were identified, they would be killed by the villagers immediately. Like Mananagals, Mananagals, the wak-wak version of an asswang leaves behind...
Fucking whack. Fucking Fozzie the bear over here.
Waka waka
Waka waka.
The Waka Waka version of the ass wing leaves behind half its torso when it transforms in the middle of the night. So it just leaves a dick and butt behind.
Sweet. That's all I need.
I know you're probably thinking I'm an ass wing because I don't have a butt. But if an ass wing ends up marrying a human, then the partner will transform into an ass wing as well on their wedding day. What a beautiful ceremony that probably
That's love.
is. However, it is extremely rare for these creatures to reproduce.
Kind of like Shrek and Fiona.
What are you doing in my swamp? Ass-wing couples will most likely hunt alone in the middle of the night because they do not like sharing food.
Damn.
Separating also helps them avoid causing suspicion and getting detected. A human can choose to turn into an ass-wing by tying a fertilized chicken egg to their stomach. Once the chick passes into their flesh, they must bury the shell in a bamboo tube with coconut oil and chicken dung.
What the fuck?
Rob, I'm not making any of this stuff up.
That is the weirdest.
I gotta start that one over.
Yeah, do that again.
A human can choose to turn into an ass wing by tying a fertilized chicken egg to their stomach.
Okay.
Once the chicken passes into their flesh, they must bury the shell in a bamboo tube with coconut oil and chicken dung, which is chicken poop.
So, what if the chicken just pops through the egg on the other side? Then you gotta fucking try it again? It has to burrow into your stomach?
I am trying to become an ass wing here.
Jeez.
Then they will possess the powers of an ass wing. If an ass wing dies, they can transfer their abilities to another person by holding their mouth close to them and letting the chick inside them hop from their stomach to their other stomach. Ass wings can be killed with garlic, salt, holy water, a crucifix, a rosary, a prayer, or decapitation. They will also be destroyed by getting whipped with the tail of a stingray like old Steve Irwin because they do not like the sound of it slashing through the air.
Does a stinger make a sound? Like a fucking boomerang?
Like fucking Fruit Ninja rolling through here.
You like swing a stick really fast.
What are you doing with that stingray? We're overrun with ass wings. Ass wings cannot step into temples, churches, mosques, or any other holy consecrated grounds. If a doorway to a home or building has a special prayer posted by the entrance, then an ass wing cannot walk through the doorway. During the day, ass wings still have certain powers. Some of them will provide healing potions and cast helpful spells for the townsfolk. Because of their friendliness, there is an old Filipino saying that translates to, an ass wing is better than a thief.
Is that true?
You can tell whether someone is an ass wing by looking into their eyes. If your reflection is upside down when they are not truly human. You can also look at them upside down by sticking your head in between your legs. If their image appears different than when standing upright, there's an ass wing. It's like dogs sniffing each other's assholes.
It makes no sense.
It
I
doesn't.
love it.
What I got? I physically could not get into that position if I wanted to.
I'm just gonna live the rest of my life walking with my head between my legs, just looking at everybody from under my asshole.
Oh my!
You look good, but it smells like shit down here.
Oh, sorry, I'm looking for ass wings. An oil called Hentura, that's probably a central oil that cures fucking runny noses,
Cures hentai.
will bubble if an ass wing is in the vicinity. You can also spot an ass wing by surveying their face. If they do not have a philtrum, the vertical indentation in the middle area of the upper lip, so that little groove between on the top of your lip, little indentation, then they are not human. So
I think it's called a Cupid's bow.
A Cupid's bow?
Yeah,
it's an ass wing. If they don't have
ass wing.
If they don't have one, then it means they're a fucking ass wing.
Or it's Cupid something or other. I don't know.
Certain agamats, which are Philippine amulets, will keep ass wings away, such as red and black bead bracelets that were commonly given to babies.
Why don't we all have agamats then?
I have several, actually.
I'm going to get one on Amazon.
Speak for yourself. The name ass wing comes from the Sanskrit word asura, which means demon. The story of this creature comes from Filipino folklore in the 16th century. It has been most frequently cited in Visayas, southern parts of Luzon, and parts of Mindanao. The bats, Tasmanian devils, and what the fuck is
Cagwang?
Cagwang?
Their obsession with wangs.
bats, Tasmanian devils, and cagwangs have been killed because villagers mistook them for asswangs in their transformed state. Currently, some people believe that the myth of the asswang grew because of certain genetic diseases like X-linked dystonia, Parkinsonism, and dystonia of Panay. This is because the pictures of an asswang transforming look similar to a patient with symptoms of the diseases. Some anthropologists believe that Spaniards created the myth of the asswang as a way to keep the population under control. They told stories about the creatures living on the outskirts of the forests to discourage Filipinos from leaving their town so they could keep their power. Just remember, bend over at the waist, look between your knees, up along the crack of your asshole at the person standing behind you. If they look different, they're an asswang. Look your partner deep into the eyes. If your reflection is upside down, they're an asswang. Rub their face. If they don't have the dimple above their top lip, they're an asswang.
Ooh, man, that might be the best one yet.
Or you might mistake them for a cagwang.
Don't do that.
Just start asking. We have moved to a far more transparent society. I believe is socially acceptable just to walk up to someone and say, hey, are you an asswang? It's not something that a lot of people are going to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
But I think it's really important to just walk up to someone. Rob, if my belly wasn't so big, I would get up and look at you between my legs right now to make sure you are.
You
not
just topple over.
Maybe what if you have been playing me all these years up to this point? You're an asswing. You're gonna kill me. You're gonna eat my fucking dead body because they like dead bodies too. So you're not necessarily gonna kill me when I'm alive.
It would explain a lot.
You could be an asswang.
Yeah, I could.
But I've fed you garlic before, nothing happened.
That's true.
I've fed you a lot of garlic.
I do enjoy garlic.
I enjoy me some good garlic.
Yes, I think I'm kind of immune.
If you're an asswang, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com. ASWANG, that's an asswang. Yes.
Sure. And then next, I'm sure it's not going to be as fun, but we got the Proctor Valley Monster.
Oh, this is a really good story with it, man.
Heck yeah. So the Proctor Valley Monster is said to be a Bigfoot-type entity or a bovine-like creature that roams around Proctor Valley Road near San Diego, California. The road itself is well known for a plethora of paranormal and strange animal activity. One story from the road's history is of a teenage couple go parking in the woods off of Proctor Valley Road in the southeast corner of San Diego County in California. Of course, the car won't restart, or maybe they had a flat tire. The boy gets out to investigate, but he doesn't come back. The girl stays inside, terrified because she hears scratching on the outside of the door. Police find her the next day, still hiding in the car. The boyfriend, well, he's dead, torn and bloody, dangling from a tree, while his hands brush the car, producing scratching noises.
Oh, isn't that fucking gnarly, dude?
That's crazy. The story sometimes has the mysterious huge footprints found nearby. The legend of the Proctor Valley Monster grew, and it is described as a 7-foot, hairy, humanoid-like Bigfoot, or sometimes a cow-like animal with its body parts in the wrong place. The Proctor Valley Monster is assumed to be responsible for livestock mutilation that occurs every now and then. The Bonita Museum in Chula Vista has a casting of a strange footprint alleged to be that of the monster. What the Proctor Valley Monster looks like is a matter of debate. One person claims to have seen a huge flying beast of some sort.
I hope it fucking flies.
That would be great. In the 70s, a local radio DJ organized a nighttime monster hunt. He gathered thousands of teens in the area and later reported that they had seen something like an oddly built bovine. Ensuing publicity is probably responsible for the persistence of the disarranged cow story. Man, isn't it crazy thinking back, like how cool radio used to be?
Yeah,
like organized shit like this.
That's all it was, man. That's all the world was.
So fucking
radio.
Yeah, radio personalities used to be like rock stars.
Yeah.
Now it's just
not us.
No. We get no respect.
We get nothing.
We get nothing. A psychiatrist who once lived in Alpine claimed to have seen a Bigfoot-type creature in the hills near his house. The doctor has shielded from publicity, saying he wants to write his own book on the events. But third-hand accounts say he described a 6 or 7 foot tall, hairy creature accompanied by 2 similar critters. He made
I don't want to be a critter.
I know. He made a plaster cast of a footprint 16 inches long and 8 inches wide. He also related many strange happenings and sounds around his home. Park rangers and other investigators could never confirm the sightings, but plenty of campers, area residents, and even a sheriff's deputy claimed to have seen some large, hairy thing throbbing the hills of Alpine.
That was my wiener.
One Bigfoot investigator notes that the nearby Viejas Indians have a legend of a similar creature that guards its burial grounds.
Oh, man. All these, see, these are all like variations of the Bigfoot.
Yeah. It's like the cousin of the Bigfoot, all of them.
But they're a lot scarier than Bigfoot. I expect Bigfoot to be kind of chilled and easygoing.
I do too. I just expect him to be hungry.
Really fucking hungry.
Yeah, he just wants to eat your shit.
He's been living off tree bark for his entire life.
Yeah, he doesn't want to push your guts in or anything, but he just wants to hang out.
Think about it. Who knows what he's eating on the other side of that portal at the top of those steps, man?
True.
It could be whatever. We just had an email come through from our friend named Paul Leonard.
Okay.
He said, greetings, Nick and Rob Dog. Just thought you guys would appreciate my latest YouTube video. It's 10 minutes of nonstop farts performed by me. This is a break.
Performed by me, like his ass is an instrument.
A break from my usual drone videos. Longtime fan from the UK. Currently working in Indonesia.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, so I'm going to listen to it.
I bet he wasn't expecting this.
No, he definitely wasn't.
That's a trumpet. It's an Indonesian fart right there if I've ever heard one.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, there is no way. Oh, that one was angry.
Does this guy just record all of his fucking farts?
His grandma's right there. Dude, what is wrong with your ass? Oh. Sounds like he's just sticking a garden hose up his ass and blowing air into it.
I'm gonna fast. We're only a minute. I'm gonna fast. Okay.
Wait, is he wearing Crocs?
Crocs and chocolate milk.
I would expect someone wearing Crocs to fart like this.
The hottest farts were out of Crocs and chocolate milk. There was like he's wearing Crocs, but there's like 20 fucking empty containers of chocolate milk right there. God damn it!
Holy shit! What is
no
going
wonder
on?
you're fucking pooping like that, bro.
Oh my god!
You need to cut back on the fucking dairy.
He's fucking just eating curry and drinking chocolate milk.
Bet some fucking them farts probably smell like a turtle aquarium. Yeah, man, he wasn't lying. It's 10 minutes. Oh, he's on an elevator right here.
Oh. Dude, those farts have girth.
What a dedication to the fart right there.
I know.
Paul Leonard. Okay.
If you want to see all 10 minutes of this farty glory, what is this?
This is 10 minutes nonstop farts. Trumpet, trousers, pumping, parping, rootin', tootin' melodies.
HMTV, is that what it is?
Yeah, HMTV.
There you go. That's his YouTube. Check it out. Watch all fucking 10 minutes of it.
10 minutes of him farting. That was pretty. There's some rippers.
I'm proud of him.
There's some gut rippers in there for sure. All right, this next one is El Sombreron.
Highly Spanish.
He's kind of a...
It means he wears a funny hat.
Prince of the Darkness. Speaking of Prince of Darkness, Survivor Series, 2 weeks, they're doing The Undertaker's final send-off.
Again.
I don't know if he's going to wrestle or what, but it's the only way they're going to get me to tune in is if The Undertaker's on right now.
I haven't even watched wrestling in so long.
Me neither. It's bad. It's really bad.
I can't even remember the last one I watched. Mania, maybe.
Yeah. And that was COVID style too. It kind of sucked.
Yeah.
El Sombreron is a legendary character and one of the most famous legends of Guatemala, told in books, film, El Sombreron is also a boogeyman figure in Mexico. This character is also known with other names like Cipicio, the Goblin, and sometimes Zizimite. His main characteristics are always the same. A short man with a black dress, a thick and brilliant belt. He wears a black large hat and boots that make a lot of noise when he walks.
Kind of like the one episode of SpongeBob where he's wearing those squeaky boots. It scares the shit out of everybody.
He likes to ride horses and braid their tails and manes.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
And I did read
the horses like that.
I read another part of the research where they're like, they think El Sombreron, all he does is run around and braid horse tails.
That's not that scary. That's kind of nice.
Kind of sweet. When he cannot find horses, he braids the hair of dogs.
Fuck yes. Imagine your dog coming back with cornrows. It's like, oh shit. The dog comes out and he's like, "Ruff, ruff, motherfucker."
Oh man, where'd you go? Compton.
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang's forever.
What's up, anyone?
If you're wearing headphones, sorry, I just totally blew out the speakers on that one.
I'll try and go back and fix that one a little bit.
No, it's okay. Let it right out.
Fuck it. He also likes to court young ladies who have long hair and big eyes. Not big nipples, but big eyes. When he likes one in particular, he follows her, braids her hair, serenades her
dude,
with his silver guitar, but he also puts soil in her plate, and she is not able to eat or sleep.
Man, he just fucked up.
El Sombrero, that's how you keep a lady happy, is with the food.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. You can braid her hair all day long. She'll love that, but when you put soil in her food, she's not going to appreciate it.
You got to give her some fucking chicken tenders.
Something with sustenance.
El Sombreron appears at dusk, dragging along a group of mules carrying coal.
This is so random.
With whom he travels around the city and its neighborhoods. When a woman responds to his love, he ties the mules to the house's poles where she lives.
What if you don't have poles?
Oh, she's got the mules out front. That's El Sombreron. She's going to have some badass braids in the morning.
He unhooks his guitar and starts singing and dancing. Some residents from the neighborhoods of La Recolección and Paraquion Veja.
You did that pretty quickly.
Okay. Says he still wanders at nights when there is a full moon. El Sombreron is one of the most important legends of Guatemala, as are La Llorona, Cadejo, and Siganaba.
La Llorona is awesome.
Oh, dude, that's a badass movie.
Yeah.
The legend. In the neighborhood of La Recolección lived a woman named Susanna, a young lady, daughter of the woman who owned the store. She was a very pretty girl with long hair and big hazelnut eyes.
What store?
I think it was a Macy's.
I was going to say, what store did she own?
It was a Macy's. It was a Dick's Sporting Goods. One night, when there was a full moon, she was on the balcony admiring the sky. Suddenly, a short character with a big hat and a guitar approached her. Her beauty amazed him.
I feel like this was something that was originally written in Spanish, then Google translated into English.
Yeah, dude.
That's what it sounds like.
So fucking stupid.
It's so good.
He sang her a song. He sounds like a retarded Zorro. He's really short in all the descriptions. He's like fucking 3'3".
It's like Rey Mysterio.
He's like Vern Troyer. He's
fucking plays songs and braids hair. He's just a hippie Mexican.
Oh, he sang her a song. But at that moment, her parents found out she was out and made her get inside the house. Since that day, she was not able to sleep anymore because this character appeared in the house or sang to her from the street. She was not able to eat either because every time they served her food, it was contaminated with soil.
Mom, for once, I'd like you to give me some fucking food without dirt in it.
Pork chops, take my dirt. Worried, the parents cut her hair and took it to the church so that the priest would put holy water on it and would pray for her. A few days later, El Sombreron stopped bothering her. Culturally, the legend advises teenage girls to preserve the collective values of a society. So if you go around flashing that pussy booger, you're going to get fucked up by El Sombreron. So keep that pussy booger put away.
Man, they just keep getting better and better. I like it. This is fun.
This is my nickname in college.
This is what I call Nick after I leave here every night. The next one is called the Big Muddy Monster.
What the fuck, dude?
This is in Murfreesboro.
If this is not enough to keep you out of the goddamn woods, I don't know what is. Okay, guys.
Where's Murfreesboro? I don't even fucking know.
It doesn't matter.
I'm sure we'll figure out someplace in the South. I'm assuming.
Gone.
So Murfreesboro, there are 2 dates from 1973 in Murfreesboro that still leave some haunted or at least curious. The 2 police reports dated June 25th and June 26th relate to the sighting of an unknown creature. It was in those 2 evenings that reports came in of a loud, tall, white-haired creature caked with mud being spotted in the woods on the outskirts of town near the Big Muddy River. It was later dubbed the Big Muddy Monster because
Did your dad call his butthole the Big Muddy River?
Yes.
Okay, I just make sure I didn't have the only dad that did that.
Because of its indefinable features and mysterious presence. It set off a media frenzy after the initial reports those 2 days, said former patrolman and retired Murfreesboro Police Chief Ron Manwaring. This is a quote from Mr. Manwaring. "Those are the most copied, most looked at reports in the history of the department," he said. Letters came in streaming in from as far away as California and New York wanting a piece of information or a piece of the prize. But the prize is still elusive. There are only 2 cases that remain unsolved in Murfreesboro, Manwaring said, but after 32 years, the case of the Big Muddy Monster still remains open. "It's an unsolved case because I can't tell you what it was," he said. Having retired 3 years ago and having not seen the Big Muddy Monster police reports in many years, Manwaring is still able to recount those haunting evenings as if they just happened yesterday. And he recounts the stories as if he would be writing the police report all over again. "There were numerous sightings and people interviewed," he began. "The first report came in just before midnight on June 25th. A couple had been parked, in quotes, near the boat dock on the southwest. That's code for fucking. Near the boat docks on the southwestern edge of Riverside Park, next to the woods. The 2 who were not married, that's a fucking sin, you fucking sinners, said,
You're about to get the Big Muddy Monster.
I love how they had to reiterate, and they were not married, said they were in the car when they heard loud screaming sound in the wooded area and observed a large creature approximately 7 feet tall. The creature appeared to have light-colored hair matted with mud. The creature appeared to be walking on 2 legs and was proceeding towards the car, according to the reports. Manwaring said the 2 came to the police department and risked exposing their indiscretions because they were so frightened by what they saw. Jesus. Yeah, you know this has to be somewhere down south where like premarital sex is frowned on.
I think it was in Illinois, actually.
There's no fucking way.
It says it's from the Southern Illinoisan is the
Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? Huh. Weird. Let me see here.
Yeah, it's in Illinois.
Huh. Okay. So, let's see here. "There was no advantage for them to come up and report this," he said. "Police searched the area with flashlights and spotted tracks in the mud approximately 3 to 4 inches deep, 10 to 12 inches long,
got a big old dick,
and 3 inches wide." Jesus.
They don't call me the Muddy Monster for nothing.
While officers were searching the area, they reported hearing another scream coming from the woods, but nothing could be found. The next evening, Manwaring said he was an officer on duty when the call came in from Westwood Hills subdivision that 2 teenagers were sitting on the back porch when they spotted a tall, white-haired, hairy creature in the field just to the edge of the woods. Manwaring said the officers responded, and while they were at the scene, a neighbor said his 5-year-old son had just came in 10 minutes earlier saying that he had seen something on the edge of the woods. "My partner and I decided to go down to the area where they saw this thing," Manwaring said. He started traveling a footpath through the bushes and noticed a stench and slimy film on tree branches. It came. "I saw this substance and smelled the smell myself. It smelled like cum." You didn't say that.
You read that wrong.
Sorry.
Got cum on the brain.
Jerry Nellis, an officer with the Carbondale Police Department at the time and a trained dog handler, was called to the scene. The dog tracked the scent all the way to a barn, but once it got to the barn, the dog refused to go inside. You have to trust the instincts of dogs, because if they sense something like that, you know something fuck is going on.
Yeah, for sure. And with an intimidating name like Jerry, you gotta fucking definitely believe what the dog is doing.
Exactly. Nellis said in his humble opinion it was a bear. We never got a good view of any tracks, Nellis said. Is there a Sasquatch? I don't know. It makes for a good story, though. Lauren Coleman, a cryptozoologist who studied the big muddy monster in the 70s, believes that it wasn't an animal in the woods. I think it's within the context of other reports of a Bigfoot, he said. Like West Coast Bigfoot reports, Coleman said this creature was hairy, but differs in the fact that nobody was able to see any distinguishing characteristics in the facial area. He said this creature also seems more aggressive than those spotted in the West. Well, yeah, I mean, everybody in the West is fucking chill, so I would expect their Bigfoots to be probably high all the time, too. There's something very unique about this eastern Midwestern Bigfoot, Coleman said. From the reports from the mud monster, it seemed to frighten the people the way it didn't in the West. Manwaring said people initially thought that it was a prank, but after all this time, no one has come forward to say so, and after all the hype and hysteria was over with, he said that he heard 2 more reports that seemed similar to those in June 1973. One came in early July that same year. I'll leave it at that. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so Asswang versus Proctor Valley Monster.
Asswang.
Because Asswang's a shapeshifter.
True.
Can do a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
He's a wild card. Proctor Valley Monster versus Big Muddy Monster.
Proctor Valley.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the same thing.
Big Muddy Monster, I don't know.
Maybe they call it the Big Muddy Monster because it just gets fucking diarrhea all over the place.
I think it's just an albino Sasquatch.
We have an albino squirrel living in our yard.
Oh, dude,
right
so
now.
do we.
Yeah.
It's great.
I want to fuck the shit out of it. It's so beautiful. It's such a majestic creature.
Yeah, albino squirrels are amazing.
It's just a squirrel, but he's like fucking, he's like Dog the Bounty Hunter out there, just letting the fucking wind blow his white fur around, just taking it all in. He's like, I'm out here, I'm a white squirrel. You never seen a white squirrel before or something?
He just comes up to the door and he's like, pardon me, sir. Do you have any seeds that I could snack upon?
He gets on the chain link fence and he just stands up and puffs his chest out.
Just very proper.
Just fucking flexing, dude. He's an albino squirrel.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? Beautiful creature. Beautiful, beautiful creature. So that's our episode. I don't know. What are we going to name this one? Scary stuff in the woods and stairs.
Yep. Cryptids in the woods.
Cryptids in the woods.
Beasts in the wilderness. There you go.
Oh,
Beasts of the wilderness. You even titled this episode that.
Beasts of the wilderness
And the stairs to nowhere. What do you think of that one?
Sounds delicious.
Sounds like the delicious Nicolicious.
Yep.
If you are the Big Muddy Monster, send us an email, brohiopodcast@gmail.com.
If you have no nipples, send us an email at brohiopodcast.com.
You're Paul Leonard the Farter.
Thank you for your glorious content.
Let's see what else you got here, Paul Leonard. Oh, okay.
Go to I want to hear the very last one. I hope he finished it off good.
He got a remote control.
He's just holding a remote.
Almost blew his fucking PJ pants off right there. He's zooming with some fucking
big titty girl.
Yes. Okay.
That one echoed. Wait, what'd the meme say?
I don't know. This is very poor production value right here. Okay. Flamethrower.
Yeah, for those of you who couldn't see that, he played a video of someone farting out fire at the same time. That moment, you realize
your fart smells worse than you thought. And
it's the Homer meme disappearing into the shrubs.
Oh my god, is he pooping in a sink right here?
His asshole just sounds angry.
Sounds like some fucking real gut rumble. Now,
He puts a lot of work into some of these.
I think some of these are VHS. He's been recording these farts for a long time. Yeah, like
he has his Nokia.
you see like some dude with like a big old fucking video camcorder held up to his butt farting into it. Each one's recorded on an iPhone 1. Well,
It's a good video, man.
I wish that I wish there was a way to get hold of Paul Leonard. Could call him. I don't know if I've ever talked to him.
Facebook, look him up.
I don't know if I've ever talked to Paul before. You know, I get a lot of messages from weirdos.
So do I.
So,
But I could use some more.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let's go to our Brohio Facebook page here.
Let's do that.
Thank you, Metronet, for 1 gigabyte up and 1 gigabyte down.
Or you could just email him back and see if he responds.
Well, this is way faster. Inbox. Sorry, you guys are having to go through this with us. Let's pause it for just a
Yeah, I'm
second.
going to take the time to go pee anyways.
Unfortunately, Paul's not answering our calls for
Oh,
him.
man.
Whatever, Paul. Some good solid farting, brother. So,
Either way.
All right, thanks for tuning into this episode of the Brohio Podcast.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, hey, we have just to remind the people, when is our Zoom show?
November 21st.
November 21st. So if you sign up for that, we got that squared away, so don't forget.
Fuck yeah.
Then, depending on what goes on with COVID, we have a live show in Dayton.
Probably not going to happen.
Probably not going to happen.
Boom, boom, boom.
But anywho, if not, thank you guys for listening.